3 precious little kids lost their lives, and I believe 3 adults, and the shooter, of course, lost their life too. So it's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals, and my daddy fought in the Second World War, fought in the Pacific, fought the Japanese, and he told me, he said, buddy, he said, if somebody wants to take you out and doesn't mind losing their life, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it.
Representative Tim Burchett there pushing his next campaign slogan, we're not going to fix it, and if you die, you die. What he said in response to the latest mass shooting that killed 3 children and also 3 adults working at a school in Tennessee. So when he was asked about what it is they can specifically do, maybe there's something they can pull out of this guy that he's willing to give a damn about when it comes to people he represents. Let's see what he had to say.
Do you think there's any role for Congress to play in reaction to this tragedy? Obviously, this is your state now, but It's happened in every other state.
Oh, it's happening. It doesn't matter what state it's happening in. We're all Americans. It doesn't matter the color of their skin. They all bleed red. They're bleeding a lot. I don't see any real role that we could do other than mess things up, honestly, because of the situation. It's like I said, I don't think a criminal's going to stop from guns. You can print them out on the computer now, 3D printing, and there's really, I don't think you're going to stop the gun violence. I think you've got to change people's hearts. As a Christian, as we talk about in the church, and I've said this many times, I think we really need revival in this country.
Next question about what is it he can do? All he can do is mess things up. Again, a person who ran for office to represent people, and part of that is to represent their desires, their needs, because they pay him to do so. He just doesn't think so because he only caters to the richest of the rich. That's how they operate. So it's nothing. All they can do is mess things up. So maybe you can ask the families of all these people that have been murdered, the latest being these 6 folks in this school, if things have been messed up yet. Ask them if their lives are messed up. Ask them if your inaction has messed things up for them yet. Ask the other folks who died in Uvalde, hey, are their lives messed up? So how much more can you mess things up? How much worse can it get for folks who have to then try and identify their loved ones' body parts after they've been destroyed by a gun? How much more messed up can it get? There's more, and there's more from this idiot. One more part about this, because these folks have kids. He's already said, I'm willing to do nothing. My father said die anyway. And also, I'm only going to mess things up if I do my job. So the next step is, you have children, Representative Burchett. What is it you're doing to protect them? And this is the most revealing part of this whole exchange.
What should be done to protect people like your little girl from being safe at school?
Well, we homeschool her, but that's our decision. Some people don't have that option, and frankly, some people don't need to do it. They don't have to. It just suited our needs much better.
Thank you.
You good?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Those needs that homeschooling his children or his kid will do suits him much better is my child is protected. That's what he cares about. Good for him. So maybe he should just be a father at home and care about his kid rather than screwing up everyone else's lives. Just a part of it, yes. He's the one that's getting the blame for this whole thing because he stuck his dumb ass in front of a camera and said that's all those stupid things. There's more. We're talking about what he actually does care about since he's talking about protecting children. But first, Waz, please.
Yeah, I almost feel bad for the guy, honestly, JR. He had a little human moment, which human beings are wont to do, and then he quickly realized where his bread is buttered, and he reversed course, something about changing people's hearts and minds. And the most interesting part about what he said is that we could only go up there and mess things up. So that's his campaign slogan, y'all. Vote for me. I will get to Congress and do diddly squat about anything that affects your life, especially if it runs counter to the sort of donor base and the cultural base of my party. I will never do anything that makes your lives better. What a way for a guy to be a politician.
They're showing you that they don't have to do anything, and that you've proven to them, all these people who vote for these guys, you've proven to them that they have no reason to represent you. They'll say it to your face. I don't care. If your child dies, F them. That's their message. Vote for me. That's the message. Are you dumb enough to keep doing it? Are you stupid enough to keep doing it? This guy's virtually saying anybody who wants to harm your child when he's not with you and they're off at school, I'm okay with that. It's not my kid. Vote for me. Are you down? Because this is what he cares about. Let's go to this next side.
A grown man dressed up like a woman should not be rubbing his crotch in front of a little child. That is ridiculous. Good on Governor Bill Lee and our Tennessee legislature. The law goes into effect on July 1st. And you know, dadgummit, we don't put up with that crap in Tennessee, and we shouldn't. And the rest of the country should follow suit. This is wrong, as wrong as it can be.
Good for you, Tim. We don't put up with this crap in Tennessee. We don't put up with people in drag. We don't put up with that at all. What we put up with is your children being murdered, heads being blown off. We don't care. What we care about is whether or not these folks who are dressing up in drag and performing and doing readings and all this stuff that people agree to go to and view and enjoy themselves at, we care about that. Small government. We don't step in other people's lives unless we feel like it. And then after that, you have to do something like listen to us based off of our values. Does that sound very American to you? It sounds like Tennessee, apparently, and it should spread to all portions of the country. So while they wasted the time, of course, Governor Bill Lee, who was doing nothing about this, Lieutenant Governor, I'm blanking on his name, McNally, who was searching sites, Instagram sites of a gay man that was showing off his body. Let's keep it real. And thirst traps all over that. He was loving those, dropping rainbow emojis and how he brightened my day. This is what the leadership of Tennessee was doing while folks can run around randomly with AR-15s, AK-47s, and anything else that they want to shoot up as many people as possible. But they're looking to protect the children, just not the children that are potentially victims of gun violence. Those kids apparently deserve it. That's where we've gone.
Yeah, I don't think the contrast can be made more starkly than you just put it, JR. This idea that, you know, straw men, the fictional trans people who are rubbing their crotches in front of children. This is what actually ails this is what has the greatest potential for harm to the children of Tennessee, and not, dangerous people with life-ending weapons, man. It's a sad state of affairs, and it's really hard to see a path out of this, honestly.
If it was 3 children in this last case and then 3 other adults. And then Uvalde, I think 20 to 21 folks overall. Previous school shootings, the one out in Colorado happens. And then it's constant. It's everywhere. I'm trying to remember them all. If there was just general numbers, which maybe total around 100 after the last 5 or so, were all children of people in power with money and influence, things would change. But the things that would change would they would only protect their children, which they're already on the forefront of because they don't even want their children to be injured. So they're ahead of the game. They know what's going on. They know the fear. They know the potential for these types of things, and they avoid them for themselves. And they tell you, here, vote for me. I just wonder how much longer we're going to be suckers for it. And if their children are finally affected, they'll finally think differently. But they won't tell you because still the money is the most important thing.